Hello, class. This is going to be my discussion forum question on Chapter 7, Conformity, Deviance, and Crime. For this particular discussion, I decided to choose Prompt 2 on juvenile justice and the criminal justice system, and essentially whether or not juveniles should be treated and sentenced as adults or rehabilitated and changed into fully functioning members of society, treated accordingly as juveniles. In this particular discussion, both the cases of the stories of Khalif Browder and Kyle Rittenhouse can be used as examples. Both involve, unfortunately, sad events, loss of life, and they're current events, so I'll try to tie it in as best as I can to the overall message. So, first, I want to say that I just want to break down a statistic of youth involved with the juvenile justice system, just the sheer numbers. 24.3% of youth incarcerated are there for offense against persons. This could be anything from battery to sexual assault to murder. Property offenses, vandalism, graffiti, and whatnot, makes up 37.5%. Drug law violations is about 11.2%, and public order offenses might be 27.1%. Could be just disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, etc. So basically, to shake it down, you have a quarter of juveniles locked up for offense against persons, and I feel that these specifically should be treated as adults. These are very serious offenses, obviously. I think that everyone knows from right for wrong that you can't harm other people, and I don't think that falls into the being just kind of a for lack of a better word, a stupid kid doing a stupid thing. That's a serious offense that needs to be treated. And just for example, for sex offenders, it's estimated that, based on just reports from national databases here, that about 18 to 24% of sex offenders will reoffend. And while this particular figure might seem low, it's often because sex offenses are not often reported. So if we just say, let's say 24% is what's reported, let's say it's closer to 33%, that's 1 in 3 offenders that are going to go and reoffend. That's 33% way too many. And in my opinion, and that statistic alone is just scary to think that these members could be back out in society pretty quickly. I think that they should be sentenced as adults with strict times, because I don't think there should be any tolerance for harming other people. I think that's a simple thing, to just leave people alone. I think that's something that's taught from youth, and I don't think that needs to be something that's changed. I think that's whether or not to harm other people. That's something you have in you from when you're born. Whereas property offenses, such as graffiti and stuff, I think that falls more into the stupid kid doing a stupid thing. And in the case of Khalif Browder, which is a terribly tragic event, I think, of stealing a backpack, I think he was just being, he just made a bad choice, and ultimately it cost him nothing but grief and ultimately his life, unfortunately, tragically. And in his case, which is nothing short of a tragedy, I think that the justice system really failed him, because there's no way he should have been waiting that long for a case that, like I said, was just a stupid kid doing a stupid thing. I think it all comes down to discretion on the seriousness of the case, and just what type of offense there is. In the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, I think it's a pretty muddy. I think it's a pretty murky. It's just such a tragic event all around. I think it's such a murky case that you'd have to leave that up to a jury of his peers, because it's such a unique case. I think that hopefully we never see it again. But in the case of Khalif Browder, I think it was just a silly, poor decision that caused so much pain. So ultimately, I think the shakedown is that it should be based off of what type of crime we're dealing with here. and the severity. And like I said, 24.3% of offenses against persons, that 24.3% should be treated as adults and sentenced accordingly, because there's just no room in society to be harming other people. Thank you guys. I hope everyone stays well and stays safe.